Good morning, greetings friends, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I use nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your health and vitality and well-being and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body. You are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health challenge. That's why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 30 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes and hypertension and obesity and skin diseases like acne, psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds. Recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle, but what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system is a healing system, it's a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that healing, renewing, regenerating system a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, if you want to wean yourself off your meds, or a loved one or workmate or family member off their medications and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we can help you do that. 844-236-6010 is our number on The Bright Side. If you have questions about the longevity products, the longevity business, our Truth Skin Health products, something you may have heard about, read about, formulations, ingredients, 844-236-6010 is our number on The Bright Side. Of course, if you have a success story you'd like to share, we love hearing those. Or if you just want to contribute to the conversation, 844-236-6010 is our number on The Bright Side. And please try to call in early so we don't have to leave anybody on hold. Everybody always calls in the last segment, and I end up leaving a bunch of you guys on hold. Don't like doing that. 844-236-6010 is our number. Try to call in early. If you want to purchase any of our longevity products, you can go over to brightsideben.com, purchase products right off the website, criticalhealthnews.com also, and pharmacistben.com. That's criticalhealthnews.com, pharmacistben.com, or brightsideben.com. You can also call 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470. That's the phone number for the Brightside Ben phone team. Tell them you want to join the team for a one-time $25 fee. You can make some money, start yourself a longevity business, help spread the word about the power and importance of a good nutritional supplement program. You can change lives and make some money too if you're entrepreneurially minded, if you're business minded. We can set you up in a business for a one-time $25 fee. You can be set up. No need for a bunch of inventory, a bunch of infrastructure, just basically a few things and you. And your dedication, your desire to make some money, your desire to start your own business, and most importantly, your desire to help change lives by using nutritional supplements. That's what we're all about at Longevity. That's what we're all about on The Bright Side, using nutritional supplements to change lives. Call 866-735-2470 for more information. Also want to remind you to check out our Truth Skin Health products. Truth Retinol 5% Gel, Truth Serum, Truth Omega-6 Healing Cream, and Truth Balm. They're all made without fillers, waxes, water, emulsifiers, silicone, oil, preservatives. Nothing your skin doesn't need or doesn't want. 100% active and functional ingredients. That's why our Truth Skin Health products last months. Truth Retinol 5% Gel will last you 4, 5, even up to 6 months when used as directed. And it ain't fluff. It's the real deal, as anybody who's used the products can tell you. Check them out at truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. Okay. 844-236-6010 is our number on The Bright Side. I want to continue talking about fibromyalgia, the quintessential connective tissue disease. We've been talking about connective tissue now for a while. We'll continue talking about connective tissue. It is the unifying factor in all chronic degenerative health challenges. Deterioration of the connective tissue is the unifying factor behind all health misery, including heart disease and cancer and Alzheimer's disease and diabetes, all of it, folks. It's all about the connective tissue. Fibromyalgia is the ultimate, the quintessential example of a connective tissue disease. Doctors will tell you, oh, we don't know what causes fibromyalgia. Great mystery. What they should say is the causes unknown to them, because fibromyalgia is well known as an estrogenic health challenge. It's caused by estrogen dominance, estrogen buildup, or rather estrogen metabolite buildup. Metabolites are breakdown products. Estrogen is broken down pretty much immediately as soon as it's secreted because it's so darn toxic. Unfortunately, the metabolites are also toxic, and so nature has devised a system where the metabolites will be cleared out quickly. However, over the course of time, as our detox systems become overloaded, particularly bile, as liver disease, as the impact of liver disease accrues, we don't detoxify estrogen as effectively. And rest assured, if you've got any estrogenic health challenges, it's not so much the hormone estrogen as it is the metabolites, the breakdown products of estrogen following detoxification overload and liver disease, as well as digestive health challenges, that is really the problem. It's the buildup of the metabolites. Here's a quick way to detoxify estrogen. We're going to talk about all this here in the coming days. But if you're dealing with an estrogenic health challenge, if you're dealing with a fibrotic disease, remember, fibrosis is also an estrogenic issue. Estrogen is a fiber-stimulating hormone. That's why it's used as an anti-aging substance, because it increases the production of collagen. However, fiber production is has to be held in balance. You can't have too much fiber production. You can't have not enough. And using hormones to jack up fiber production is not a good idea. In any case, if you're dealing with any estrogenic health issues, go get something called calcium D-glucarate. That's spelled Glucarate. Calcium D-glucarate. Glucarate acts like a little magnet that detoxifies toxic estrogen, that deactivates the metabolites, the toxic metabolites. And it's much more than a detox substance, by the way, calcium D-glucarate. It's actually a building block for hyaluronic acid. It's a building block for proteoglycans, protein sugar complexes. It's a building block for polysaccharides. Calcium D-glucarate is not just a detox substance, it's a building block substance. It's a building block of heparin, which is a blood thinner, natural blood thinner. It's a building block of chondroitin, which is used for building connective tissue. It's a building block, as I say, of hyaluronic acid, which everybody knows about these days. Hyaluronic acid is found in lots of topical products, and probably not a week goes by without somebody asking me if I'm using hyaluronic acid in my topical products. And I actually like hyaluronic acid, but the idea that you can build your own hyaluronic acid, or you can somehow improve your own hyaluronic acid by using it in a cream, is fallacious. It's not true. It's misleading. It's dishonest. I see commercials all the time, and we fall for that kind of stupidity. Hyaluronic acid in a cream is not going to do anything for your hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid, by the way, that's spelled Hyaluronic, hyaluronic acid, in a topical product is not going to help your wrinkles. It has to be injected in a product called Juvederm. If you go to a plastic surgeon or dermatologist, they'll actually inject hyaluronic acid to plump up your skin. But in a topical product, it isn't going to do anything for your aging, period. And don't fall for the dishonesty that you hear in commercials. And if you're an esthetician or a skincare professional, please don't perpetuate that myth. Hyaluronic acid will soften the surface of the skin. It absorbs water, and it's pretty nice as a stratum corneum or dead skin cell softener, but it isn't going to do anything for wrinkles or anti-aging. Hyaluronic acid is partially composed of calcium D-glucarate, or of glucarate. And using calcium D-glucarate can give you some raw materials for building your own hyaluronic acid. Same with glucosamine, by the way. Glucosamine can also help you build your own hyaluronic acid. Anyway, I'm going to have a lot more to say about calcium D-glucarate and estrogen detoxification, as well as give you some other ideas for helping balance out estrogen. Selenium is a great supplement for helping balance out estrogen. You can go get something called DIM or I3C. Lots of different strategies for helping clear out excess estrogen. And if you're dealing with an estrogenic health crisis, an estrogenic health challenge, these are really very important strategies that can mitigate or reduce a lot of the misery associated with fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, premenstrual syndrome, menopausal issues, etc. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this. Bright Side. I am Pharmacist Ben. We're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central Time, 24/7 on our archive pages at brightsideben.com and benfuchsarchives.com. Thank you to Peter in the UK for setting that one up. And you can also purchase longevity products off our websites, brightsideben.com, criticalhealthnews.com, and pharmacistben.com. And you can purchase our Truth Skin Health products off truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. Take a look at our retinol 5% gel, Truth Serum, Truth Balm, Truth Omega-6 Healing Cream, all made with generous, humongous doses of vitamin C. Fat-soluble vitamin C, not the cheapo ascorbic acid. I got an email today, or Facebook, I think, email or Facebook, from some gal who wants to know the difference between ascorbic acid and the kind of vitamin C we use. If you see ascorbic acid in a skin health product, you are looking at an ignorantly formulated product, period. Ascorbic acid is incredibly unstable. It sits on the surface of the skin. You do not get vitamin C benefits. In fact, it will turn brown. There's actually a product that turns brown right in their silly glass bottle. I don't want to mention their name. There's lots of companies that will use ascorbic acid. Ignorant formulations, all of them. Ascorbic acid does nothing for the skin, and I know there's a few people out there who are claiming it does. It does not. It sits on the surface. Maybe it has some slight exfoliating benefits, but the worst thing about ascorbic acid, aside from the fact that it's ridiculously cheap and overpriced in skincare products, the worst thing about it is it oxidizes, that is, turns brown readily. And you never want to put an oxidized product on your skin. Same is true about vegetable oil, by the way. If you see sunflower oil in a product, or soy oil, or soybean oil, again, ignorant formulation, as vegetable oils oxidize readily. This is why I created my Truth Skin Health products, and that's why I call them the truth. Because the truth is, you don't need oil in your skin, and the truth is, ascorbic acid isn't going to do anything for your skin, no matter what the nice lady at the department store tells you, or the apparently credible doctor in his nice white coat tells you when he's making his skincare products. Your doctor isn't making skincare products, by the way. He's calling up a pharmacist, or he's calling up a chemist to make the products, and then he goes on TV with his white coat and tells you he's making his products. Anyway. 844-236-6010, 844-236-6010 is our number on the bright side. I'm going to have a lot more to say about glucarate and estrogen detox in the coming days. Meantime, use some calcium D-glucarate if you're dealing with any kind of estrogenic health issues. 100 to 200, even up to 400 milligrams a day. It's really non-toxic. You could find it readily on the internet. Calcium D-glucarate, completely non-toxic. It's found in cruciferous vegetables if you want to get your calcium D-glucarate from foods, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage. It's also found in legumes, chickpeas, soybeans. It's also found in citrus fruits. Understanding estrogen above and beyond mainstream conventional wisdom, which is usually wrong when it comes to health, understanding estrogen is critical if we are going to understand health, especially if we've got a challenge, if we've got some kind of health challenge, and if we're going to understand connective tissue, if we're going to understand the relationship between aging and connective tissue, if we're going to understand the relationship between disease and connective tissue, if we're going to understand how to reverse connective tissue illness, we got to understand estrogen, which is a very tricky hormone. It's got all kinds of complicated effects in the body. This is what we talked about yesterday. When I was compounding with estrogen, we used to have to be super duper careful with how much estrogen went into a product. If you put too much estrogen in a topical product, and estrogen is very, very bioavailable topically, for better or worse, if you put too much of it in a topical product, you can run into issues. Toxic estrogen compounds build up over time as our detox systems, particularly in the liver, as our detox systems become overwhelmed. And one of the most important effects of these toxic estrogens is inflammation. Estrogen, after all, is a growth substance. It's a baby-making hormone. That's its primary role in the biological system, is to make babies. And there is a fine line, there's always going to be a fine line between inflammation and growth. The same kind of biochemical processes that are involved in making a baby, that is, the movement of fluids, the migration of cells, increases in blood supply, growth of cells. These are the same type of biochemical processes that are involved in making a baby as involved with inflammation. Of course, growth and development are a much more organized process, a much more specific process. Nonetheless, The biochemistry and the biochemical dynamics of inflammation is very similar to the biochemical dynamics of making a baby. They both involve movement. They both involve dynamism. They both involve the movement of fluids and the secretion of fibers. And estrogen, not surprisingly, stimulates the movement of fluids. It stimulates the growth of fibers, collagen and elastin. This is why estrogen is so prized among dermatologists and anti-aging specialists. It's used to prevent wrinkles. It's used to as a skin anti-aging product, topically as well as internally. But it is a mixed bag. It is a double-edged sword. And personally, I would be staying far, far away from estrogen supplement or estrogen topical products or estrogen pills, which, by the way, many times estrogen pills are fake estrogen or metabolites of estrogen or estrogen derivatives. This is particularly true about the birth control pill. And if you want to know about the relationship between fibrosis and the birth control pill, just look at, or I should say between fibrosis and estrogen, just look at the package insert on your birth control pill. Everybody should be reading the package insert when they're on a prescription drug. And nobody should ever be on a prescription drug long term. If you're on a birth control pill, chances are you've been on it for years, if not decades. Nobody just gets on the birth control pill for 1 or 2 months, and it's a drug. We are not conditioned to believe that the birth control pill is a drug, but it is. It's a very toxic form of estrogen, and all you got to do is open up that package insert and read it. And what are you going to see? You're going to see increased risk of fibrosis. You're going to see increased risk of blood clots, which is a type of fibrosis. You're going to see an increased risk of heart disease, which is related to fibrosis. All because of this toxic metabolite of estrogen, which shuts down birth, which shuts down fertility, which shuts down conception. Excuse me. Why is it that estrogen shuts down conception? Estrogen tells the body that a baby is on board, even if one isn't. So when estrogen goes up, the body shuts down fertility. It also shuts down fertility because estrogen is a stress hormone, and if you're producing lots of toxic metabolites of estrogen, if you're not detoxifying your estrogen, the chances are you're going to have it. It's going to be difficult for you to conceive a baby. Progesterone, which antagonizes or balances out estrogen, is a pro-pregnancy hormone, progestation hormone, progestation hormone. It balances out estrogen, and it does increase fertility. So estrogen is a gross substance. It's an inflammatory substance. It's a fibrotic substance. It stimulates inflammation. It induces all of the misery. It induces all of the inflammatory misery that's associated with numerous disease states. And thus we come to fibromyalgia, which is basically an uncontrolled growth of fibers, uncontrolled inflammation that affects the entire connective tissue muscle system. 70 to 80% of the body is affected by fibromyalgia. Remember, this is a system we're talking about here. So if we have a connective tissue illness, a connective tissue disease, the entire connective tissue system is going to be affected. When one part of a system is affected, this is the nature of a system. When one part is affected, everything is affected. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. Got lines open for you. We'll take a commercial break and come back on the bright side with you and your phone calls right after this. Don't go away. Side. Pharmacist Ben here. 844-236-6010 is our number on the bright side. We're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific, 10 to 11 Central, and 24/7 on our archive pages. You can also purchase longevity products off of Ben Fuchs, off of BrightSideBen.com, CriticalHealthNews.com, and PharmacistBen.com. And you can call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470 if you want to purchase products, or if you want to sign up to join the Brightside Ben team for a one-time $25 fee and start yourself a longevity business. Okay, 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll get your calls here in just a minute, so hang tight. A couple interesting articles that I found here. I love doing research. Every day I learn new things every day. I share them with you. I can't share everything I learn. I try to share as much of what I learn every day, but every day I learn some new stuff. Research is always progressing, and there's always good stuff out there. And if you're going to a healthcare professional, if you're going to a physician, if you're dealing with some kind of health challenge, you want to make sure he or she is doing research, not necessarily research in terms of studies and research in terms of what's happening to individual people based on what they take or what they don't take or what they eat or what they don't eat, but research in terms of how the body is put together and how the body is structured. This is an article from the Journal of Hepatology. Fructose consumption linked to increased liver disease. Fructose is metabolized by the liver. Liver disease, or I should say fructose consumption, can increase or enhance the symptoms of liver disease. If you're dealing with liver disease, if you're one of the 100 million Americans at last count are dealing with liver disease, you want to be really respectful of fructose, and that doesn't just mean fruit sugar. Fructose is fruit sugar. It doesn't mean just fruits, but it means fruit juice, and it especially means high fructose corn syrup. If you're dealing with gout, likewise. It turns out that fructose, according to this article in the Journal of Hepatology, dietary fructose intake may increase serum uric acid. These are the crystals that are associated with gout. Gout is known as the disease of kings. The more fructose you eat, the more fruit sugar you eat, the more fruits you eat, and high fructose corn syrup you eat, the more likely you are going to be dealing with uric acid crystals, and the more likely you're going to be dealing with liver disease. If you have an estrogenic health issue, remember the liver clears out excess estrogen. So if you're dealing with fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, endometriosis, any kind of estrogenic health challenge, you want to be really respectful of fructose. This one is super cool. Nothing you guys haven't heard about if you've been listening to this program. Now, where did I put that article here? I can't find it. Now that I want to look at it, oh, here it is. Gut bacteria may play a role in Alzheimer's disease. No kidding. New research from Lund University in Sweden has shown that intestinal bacteria can accelerate the development of Alzheimer's disease. I've been saying this for years. Alzheimer's disease is a digestive health issue, like all chronic degenerative diseases. If you have a loved one or a friend or family member or workmate who's dealing with this thing, dementia, Alzheimer's disease is early onset dementia, but any dementia, please understand the relationship between the intestine, i.e. the gut, and the bacteria that live there, and the disease. You don't need a research article to tell you this. All disease begins in the gut. All chronic long-term degenerative disease does. This is from Lund University of Sweden. Intestinal bacteria accelerate the development of Alzheimer's disease. According to the researchers, the results open up the door to new opportunities for preventing and treating the disease. All these guys have to do is listen to the bright side. This is what we talk about every day. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. Time to hit the phones. Let's go to Ernest in Texas. Good morning, Ernest. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm doing good, Ernest. How can we help you this morning?
Well, long story short, I'm calling about my wife. She was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. She's 30 years old.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry.
Thank you. And she went through the whole chemo thing, and they tell her she's better now, but that she has a 60% chance of it coming back. She's got about a foot of her colon left. So what we're trying to do, and I mean, they pretty much declared her cancer-free. I mean, she still has to go through the 5-year of, scans and diagnostics and so forth, but she is curious as to what she can do to kind of help prevent that.
Eat as little as possible. That's the first thing. Eat as little solid food as she needs. Only eat when she's absolutely positively hungry, and try to get as much liquid nutrition as possible so she does not have to burden the colon. Does that make sense? You want to put her as little work. Her digestive tract should be doing as little work as possible for the rest of her life. And the way you do that is by eating as little food as possible, solid food, and making sure she's nutriated, the Cron diet, calorie restriction with optimum nutrition. Do not be deluded or confused by the idea by collapsing two separate ideas, calories and nutrition. These are two separate ideas. Doctors don't often separate these two. They make it like calories are nutrition. They're not. They're work. Nutrition, calories cost us nutrition. They don't provide nutrition. They cost us nutrition. with some exceptions. Obviously, you need to have some calories. But the calories themselves require work for the body to process, and you want that digestive system to be doing as little work as possible for the rest of her life. That means liquids, cartilage-containing liquids ideally. That means bone soup, chicken soup, bone broth protein smoothies, crack an egg in there, vegetable juices, get yourself a Vitamix. Not an option for you. Get a Vitamix. It's a must. It's the best medicine you're going to give her for the rest of her life. She's only 30. She's young. She can live another 50, 60, 70 years, but she's got to take care of herself. She's probably had did she have menstrual cycle problems? Usually that's a precursor. Did she have menstrual issues previously?
You're talking about you're talking about before?
Yes, before. Did she have problem periods, cramps, bloating, stuff like that? Dysmenorrhea or PMS?
I'm not sure. I know. I mean, she never shared anything like that with me, but I know that she was on birth control.
All right, before. There you go.
They told her to get off of it.
Because of the estrogen. She wasn't on birth control pill. She wasn't on birth control pills for pregnancy. She was on birth control pills to regulate her period. Correct?
To the best of my knowledge, I think it was just for
birth control.
For birth control, yes, sir.
Okay. All right. In any case, they are related. Colon cancer is an estrogenic, at least partially. It involves estrogen. So they're smart to get her off the pill. She's got to be very careful with estrogen. She may want to consider using progesterone cream or pregnenolone, Pregnenolone. She should absolutely 100% be using selenium. She should be using the Fucoid Z. She should be doing fiber every day. Every day, get a coffee grinder, grind up flax seeds every day, and then mix it in with a little almond milk or even just plain old water and drink it down every day. She needs to be regular. And then also, in addition to flaxseed fiber, vegetable fiber also, you're going to get that with vegetable juices in the Vitamix. Fermented vegetables, sauerkraut, fermented beets, fermented carrots. Get a book called The Art of Fermentation by a guy named Katz, K-A-T-Z. It's got wonderful, easy recipes and a nice, good explanation on the importance of fermented food. The Art of Fermentation, it's called. Vitamin C every day, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine every day. Don't forget your essential fatty acids, which are natural estrogens or have natural estrogenic properties. I like Udo's blend, but you can also use your Ultimate EFAs and Ultimate EFA Plus if she wants a capsule form. Let's see what else. Vitamin E, 400 international units a day. Vitamin A, 20,000 IU a day. And then she may want to think about DIM or I3C. Have her listen tomorrow. We're going to talk a lot about estrogen balancing. Over the next coming days, have her listen. And God bless. Oh, don't forget probiotics. Don't forget the nightly essence. Hang on. We're going to take a break, okay, Ernest? Stay with us, and we'll finish up when we come back. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this. Okay, we're back on The Bright Side. I want to finish up here with Ernest, and then we'll try to squeeze in as many calls as possible. Ernest, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so she wants to focus on foods, as always, keep her digestive system operating, or reduce the amount of work her digestive system has to do, support digestive health with everything we just talked about, and don't forget probiotics, a good probiotic supplement. It can definitely be helpful. Make sure she's using digestive enzymes, her ultimate enzymes, with all of her meals, apple cider vinegar with all of her meals. It wouldn't hurt her to support fat metabolism with some extra lecithin with her meals, and some extra bile salts, B-I-L-E, bile salts with her meals as well. And then one last thing before she eats, and she should be eating as little solid food as possible, but before she eats, it would help for her to stimulate digestive juices with bitters at the beginning of her meals, things like radishes or horseradish or Swedish bitters or dandelion greens or parsley, something bitter at the beginning of her meals. Everybody should really be doing it. She's got to do what we all have to do, but she has to do it with much more vigilance. Anything else, buddy?
She one of the treatments left her, she basically looks like a teenager, because it left her with a lot of acne-looking blemishes on her skin, and they did tell her it's not acne, so don't mess with it, and don't put anything for acne on it because it's not acne, it's something else.
It's a rash. It's probably an immune reaction. It's just probably a rash. It should go away as she gets better. Do you want supplement? It's hard to give you some supplement ideas, but when you focus on the digestive system, a lot of that will go away. You might want to try my blemish repair complex, which wouldn't hurt you anyway. Everybody benefits from that. You get that at truthtreatments.com.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that's what I was curious. I know you said you make your own.
It won't hurt her. You know, I don't know necessarily if it'll help, how much it'll help, because I don't know what kind of breakouts she has, but I can tell you it won't hurt her. It'll only help her overall health in general. Blemish Repair Complex, truthtreatments.com. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you so much for your call. God bless you and your wife. Good luck with everything.
God bless you.
All right, take care, Ernest. All right, let's go to Elaine in Alaska. Good morning, Elaine.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. Nice to talk to you again. What's going on?
Yeah, hey, I just wanted to follow up. I ordered your skincare product.
Okay.
And retinol gel.
Okay, have you gotten it yet?
Yeah, I got it, and I started using it. I've only been doing it about a week now, and I was concerned with, with lupus, and my skin's kind of sensitive, but
okay.
I've just followed your directions, and so far it's working great. And
nice. Even with
really
lupus,
makes the skin soft. So.
Doesn't it? Well, that's just the beginning. Wait till you see what happens over the course of the next weeks and months. But let me ask you something. You're using the retinol and you have lupus.
Yes.
That's amazing. You understand how amazing? That no dermatologist will ever believe that you're using a 5% retinol, which is unheard of, on lupus skin. But still, retinol is very important even if you have lupus, and that's why I made it so gentle. A lot of the problems people have with retinol and retinoic acid is because of the poorly formulated products they're in, and that's why I don't use preservatives or fragrances or fillers or waxes or anything that can irritate the skin. That's awesome news. Are you using the Truth Serum or Truth Balm with it?
There you had included like a little Truth Balm, so I'm just sort of using that if I feel like maybe it's a little dry or something. I'm not quite sure how to use that Truth Balm, but
use it at night as a night treatment when you're not using the retinol. The retinol's the once a week, twice a week kind of deal, and then on your off nights use the balm.
Okay, sounds good. So I had just a quick question
Sure.
For myself, and kind of just become resigned. I have tinnitus or tinnitus in my right ear.
Don't be resigned.
Well, I know. Well, it was I was on Plaquenil for the lupus, and then I got.
Is that when you got the tinnitus?
Yeah, I got this terrible vertigo and tinnitus. I just took myself off of that stuff in 2010. The vertigo got much better right away, but I've had this right-sided tinnitus, and I'm just kind of...
It's related to the lupus. Your body's breaking down. So what we got to do is we got to deal with the immune condition. Now, you heard us talking about estrogen, right? The last couple of days we've been talking about estrogen. Chances are pretty good you're dealing with some estrogen toxicity. This is usually at least one of the causes of autoimmune problems like lupus. So what you want to do is you want to start balancing out that estrogen. Now, you know about the digestive thing. I'm not going to beat a dead horse here. Estrogen is cleared out by the liver and requires a fully functioning gallbladder, liver, and intestine. And you got to make sure you got all the good probiotics going, everything for the digestive system. But just straight old balancing out estrogen may help you using vitamin E, vitamin A, same with everything we just talked about with our last caller, Ernest. Vitamin E, vitamin A, selenium, bile salts, also fiber every day. Fiber helps clear out estrogen. Fermented foods, that helps clear out estrogen. You may want to get something called DIM or I3C, both of which have an estrogen balancing effect. Pregnenolone and progesterone cream also have estrogen balancing effects as well. That's where I would be focusing on. Can I ask you how old you are, Elaine?
I am...
Just about.
40,
you don't have to tell me exactly.
That's okay. I'm 46.
Okay. So you're still having regular periods and all that, or are they off?
Yeah.
They're not off at all or heavy or anything like that?
No.
They're just every 28 days kind of thing?
They're still regularly irregular.
Regularly irregular. Well, that's good because that'll give you a diagnostic tool. Now, you are getting to be at the age where they'll be irregular anyway, but as your menstrual cycle becomes more and more regular, you'll know you're on the right track, vice versa. When it's not regular, you'll know you're on the wrong track. Hey, Elaine, I got to motivate here. I only got a couple more minutes. I want to get to some calls.
Right.
I hope I helped you out. God bless. Oh, don't forget essential fatty acids. Very, very important for all estrogenic issues. All right, I'm going to move. Thanks so much, Elaine. God bless you. Have a good day. All right, let's go to Mara. I've been holding on for a while here. What's going on, Mara? Good morning.
Good morning. I'm 65. My facial skin looks truly like 80 or 85, although all the women in my family at 60 and 80 had 40-year-old facial wrinkle-free. It's just in our genetics, but I screwed up and got overdose on sun 3 separate seasons over the last 30 years or so.
I don't know if that would cause permanent damage. Are you lean and mean? Are you built lean?
I'm lean and mean. I've got reasonable health despite a low thyroid, but the collagen is so disordered then that it's deep in the skin. How many years would retinol A take to get that?
Well, you need more than retinol A. Retinol A is icing on the cake. Icing on the cake. I mean, I want to be the guy selling you skincare products, but I can't lie to you either.
That's right. That's right.
So, you know, retinol 5% gel is very important as icing on the cake. But connective tissue is the cake, or internal nutrition to build connective tissue is the cake. So if you got a crappy cake and you put icing on top of it, guess what? You still got a crappy cake. So we got to work on the cake. And the cake is going to be driving the production of connective tissue. There's lots of ways. Then we'll get some icing. Then you can use your retinol 5% as icing. But the cake is going to...
I'm ready to do that.
Okay, here's your cake. Here's your cake. Protein.
Yeah.
Protein, especially bone broth protein. That's the major structure of the connective tissue is protein. Use bone broth protein. Use bone broth and cartilage supplements. Make sure you're getting enough whey protein or some kind of good solid protein that you're filling up with on a regular basis or on a daily basis. Organ meats, eggs, even dairy if you don't have a problem with dairy. Look for digestive problems or digestive issues associated with protein because protein is typically hard to digest. So if you have those issues, use your digestive enzymes, your ultimate enzymes with your protein. And then you'll need vitamin C. Well, there's more. Hang on. There's vitamin C. You can't make connective tissue with vitamin C. Make sure you're using a couple grams minimum a day, even up to 4 or 5 grams. Essential fatty acids, your ultimate EFAs, are also keys to triggering the production of connective tissue. And I would also be using the glucogel caps along with that. Zinc, 50 milligrams a day, is a must-have for building connective tissue. Copper, 2 to 4 milligrams a day, helps balance out zinc. And that, too, is very, very important for helping drive the production of connective tissue. Topically, also a couple more things here. You may want to use some hyaluronic acid supplements, maybe 100 to 200 milligrams a day. Go get yourself something called liquid silica gel. We haven't talked too much about that, but that is an all important, incredibly important connective tissue building supplement. Liquid silica gel is a little hard to find. When you find it, do a tablespoon or 2 a day. And you can. There's a company named called ABKIT, ABKIT, that makes a good liquid silica gel. And then, and then a couple other things that you might want to consider is if you have any digestive health issues, remember, it's not what you eat, it's not what you take in, it's what you absorb. So make sure you're correcting any digestive health issues. And if you have any sugar issues, blood sugar issues, nothing will destroy connective tissue, with the exception of cigarette smoke. Nothing will destroy connective tissue faster than sugar.
Fructose intolerance. I've been tested, I've got it, and I've got SIBO.
Well, there you go. That's probably the core of your problem. You got to correct the SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. And that's why I say all the digestive strategies are going to be important as the things that you take to build collagen, because it's not what you take, it's what you absorb. You know what, Mara? We're just flat out of time. I apologize. You can either send me an email, ben@ksco.com, or call back tomorrow, and we can finish up with you. And thank you so much for calling. God bless you. All right, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for listening to The Bright Side, friends. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll be back at you tomorrow with more good health information. Have a wonderful, beautiful, awesome